I don't see anyone. I don't see any public comments in my email. So we'll go ahead and close public comment at this time. Oh, it shared my screen. I don't see anyone. I don't see any public comments in my email. So we'll go ahead and close public comment at this time.
Sorry, the live stream just kicked in and my computer rebooted. Apologies for the echo, everyone.
I'm trying to share my screen. So moving into the reports and recommendations, this is for information. So normally I would give the treasurer reports here, but it's all the same numbers that we talk about for next half an hour. So I'll open my treasurer's reports and the budget in item 6A. So Trey, do you have anything to add on to your report?
Sorry. Hello, President Curtis Brown for the record. Just wanted to say thank you guys for a great first Ways and Means meeting. This one is our big one because we're going over our fiscal year budget. So please, ask questions, comments, tell us your concerns. Nia should be joining. So fingers crossed you can help answer questions that we're not able to. But thank you for inviting me to the committee and hope it all goes well. And thank you. That's all I have.
Yeah, so moving on to unfinished business. We don't have any unfinished business this time. This is our first meeting of the session. So I'll move into the new business 6A.
Then you have to have a motion to open your business.
So can I have a motion to open item 6, new business?
Hi. I, Salome Obleka, move the motion.
Perfect.
Thank you. That's perfect. Can I get second? You can just say your name and second.
Kaden Jangard, second.
Thank you. Perfect. Second by Kaden. Thank you. So we are going to start with item 6A, which is the election of our committee vice chair. So let me just explain what this role is about so everyone knows what they would be signing up for. Vice chair assists me in carrying out the work of the committee. You would preside over meeting in my absence. You would oversee the preparation, reporting of our committee minutes. You would present our committee reports to council when I'm unavailable, and then other duties as they come up. So I would really like to get this filled tonight before we move on to the budget. So honestly, we are going to taking motions and votes, and I would genuinely appreciate that help keeping our records straight. So I'm going to open nominations. Nomination don't require a second. Is it?
They just have to accept the nomination.
Okay. Sorry. Wait. Would anybody like to nominate someone or put your own name forward for the vice chair position?
Looks like Chinonso has his hand up.
Oh, yeah.
You have to call one name.
Yeah. Shinanso has nominated himself. Are there any other nominations?
No, sorry. I did not nominate myself. I want to ask a question instead.
Yeah.
Right. So I was on the committee before, and from what I knew, the GPSA treasurer is not the chairman of the committee. So did anything change? Was there a change in the Ways and Means bylaw? Because I knew that for the first meeting, the treasurer appoints a chairman for the committee. Troy, as you are aware, the last time it was Blanca who was the committee chair, and while Ola was the treasurer. So is there a change? Is there something new that we don't know about? Thank you.
You have to call on me.
So you would like to answer this?
Yes. Thank you, Chinonso, for that request. So per the bylaws, the Ways and Mean, or I'm sorry, the treasurer of GPSA is the de facto chair. If the Ways and Mean, or I'm sorry, if the treasurer does not want to be the chair of Ways and Means, then the treasurer can open up elections for that position. But in this case, Kalyani does want to be chair, so she is the first accepted person for it per the bylaws. If that answers your question. Then
Okay, yes, it does.
thank you, Sian. So Karen has raised his hand. Do you have a question, Karen?
Yeah, I have a question. How long would this appointment be for? Is it for the entire year or I don't know?
Yeah. Trey, would you like
Yeah.
to? Yeah.
President Curtis Brown for the record. So yes, Caden, this appointment would be for the year. I know we're in summer council right now, so that is where it kind of gets confusing. But committee positions committee members don't have to be a member of GPSA, they just have to be a graduate and or professional student. So it can be for a year appointment if you plan on graduating in December, or whoever's nominated as graduating or leaving the university for any reason. We would just on the next immediate meeting have a vice chair election again.
Okay. The reason I ask is because with the medical school, we usually hand off the GPSA responsibilities in March to the next class below us, the next treasurer. So I guess that's something we could discuss at a later date if I were vice chair.
Yes, follow up President Curtis Brown for the record. So yes, I do understand your guys' elections roll over at a different point than most places. So if you did want to be nominated or get or self-nominate for vice chair, we would just in March open up a vice chair item so that anyone on the committee could then run to be vice chair again. It could be the new medical school rep, or it could be anyone else on the committee.
Thank you.
Hope that answers your question, Karen. So does anyone want to nominate yourself for vice chair position?
I can nominate myself.
Thank you, Karen, for nominating yourself. Are there any other nominations for this position? I don't see any. So all, can I get motion?
Yeah, so now you would need a motion to
Yeah.
approve Kaden as vice chair, and you have to do a roll call vote for vice chair elections.
Okay. So perfect. Karen has nominated himself for the position. Isn't? Please bear with me. This is my first time. So isn't it just motion first and second is enough, or it just roll call we need?
No, so sorry guys, we're all learning new roles today. So you're gonna ask for a motion to elect Kaden as your vice chair. Then someone will say so moved, and then somebody has to second it, and then you go into a roll call vote, which is just of all the members present.
Okay. So can I get a motion to elect Karen as Ways and Means vice chair?
Caden, so moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Chinchinoso Onyebu. I motion to approve Kedin as the new Ways and Means Vice Chair. Thank you.
Yeah, second by Chinon. So all in favor of electing Karen as vice chair, please say aye.
So you
Aye.
have to read each of their names. And they have to say I individually.
I need to say that. Okay.
Yep.
I'll
Sorry.
roll call. I'm sorry for that. I'm just learning. This is first time. So I'll roll call and then all in favor of saying, electing Karen as vice chair. You can say hi or oppose or abstain. So I'll roll call, Karen. Yeah, he nominated. Yeah. And Salom.
Aye.
Thank you. Sinon sir.
Aye.
So,
And your vote.
oh, Kalyani. So I vote for Karen, and so we have all in favor of Karen. So he's elected as a vice chair. Congratulations, and thank you so much for setting up. I really appreciate it. So
Thank you.
that's it. Yeah. So we are going to go ahead and then close 6A and move into item 6B. Can I have a motion to?
You don't need a motion.
No. Thank you. So we are going to move into item 6B. This is the discussion and consideration of the proposed fiscal year 27 GPSA budget. I present my screen with the budget. Let me know if you can see the budget. I hope you all can see my screen. This is the budget. So I just want to give everyone a little bit of the context of what we're doing right here. The committee, the Ways and Means Committee, we discussed the proposed budget and consider the recommendations and the amendments before we present to the GPSA Council for their final approval. So just to be clear, we are not approving the budget. We are just making recommendation to the council. So final approval will be taken by the council, which will happen in August 14th, Friday. And the other piece of the context is that our fiscal year already began on July 1st for 2027. So until council adopts a budget, GPSA is operating under the interim funding procedure that this committee adopted back in November, which limits us to essential operating costs only. So sooner we get a cleaner recommendation to the council, the sooner GPSA can get back to the normal operations. And as I mentioned at the July council meeting, myself and the Trey and Nia, we met together in the summer to work on this budget and the finalize the allocation. So it's been really quite a lot discussion already. So with that being said, let me walk you all through, and
You do have one question.
yeah.
Ended Mia's in the meeting out.
Oh. So Nia also present in the meeting at 5-7.
I have a question. Yeah. Do you see that my hand is up?
Yeah.
So just
So if I can't. I just can't.
so Chinonso, he's up in the middle.
Yeah,
so
yeah. So Chinonso raised his hand. Now please go ahead, Chinon. Any question?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry to bring us back to this, but I just want us to be on the right track. I just looked at the Ways and Means operating policy, and I don't know if we would need further guidance on the treasurer's role in the Ways and Means Committee. So particularly, it says there are going to be, the treasurer is a non-voting member, an ex officio of the Ways and Means Committee. And the Ways and Means Committee shall have a minimum of 4 voting members, 1 the chair, the vice chair, and 2 other members. So it literally means that the treasurer is not a voting member. And the operating policy says that prior to the approval of the budget, the Ways and Means shall appoint a chair. The treasurer shall appoint a chair for the Ways and Means Committee. And I think it makes some sense, partly because the treasurer is the one basically in charge of the budget as far as GPSA is concerned. And the Ways and Means Committee is like an independent body that has some form of independence from the treasurer. So I think it makes sense that the treasurer is not the chair, even though it says if there is vacancy and there is difficulty in filling the role of the chair of the committee, then the treasurer can assume the interim role of the chair of the committee. So I just think we should seek further guidance on this based on what the operating policy is saying, unless I'm interpreting it wrongly. I just don't want us to be on the wrong side and have to come do this again or something like that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chinonso, for your question. Trey would like to answer this.
No, hi, Chinonso. Thank you so much. I do see that Nia is in the call now. Nia, are you able to give more guidance on Ways and Means Chair? I thought in GPSA bylaws that it mentioned the treasurer can be, or the treasurer is the de facto chair of the Ways and Means Committee until, can we please link? Chinonso, are you able to add the operating policy into the chat for us? Yes, I guess, and everyone, let's just take like if the chair is okay with it, can we take a 5-minute recess? Okay.
Let me try to do that. I used my phone to pull up the policy, but let me try to see if I can get it on my laptop.
You're good. I'm also gonna work on pulling it up. Definitely want to make sure we have this right. I don't think I interpreted it wrong, but possibility that I could have.
So then, just for clarity on the record, and sorry if there's an echo or anything, I'm in my car, but the recess will start at 5:20 and we'll come back from the recess at 5:25. So at the moment, the meeting is just suspended for the next 5 minutes. And we're going to just check the language on the operating policy because there were some changes last year to the Ways and Means operating policy. So I do want to reread the language to make sure that I also have it correct.
Perfect. Again, quick 5-minute recess.
And then my original understanding was that the GPSA treasurer is the ex officio chair of Ways and Means at the beginning of the term until a different chair is appointed, basically, by the committee. Because somebody has to sit in the seat originally.
Okay,
But
so
if that
then
is incongruent, then let's check the language.
cool. So we'll all be back in just a minute. I'm gonna go read bylaws and double check operating policy.
Yeah.
Okay, hi everyone. Sorry while we are figuring this out. The only issue that we're running into is Shananta, the bio or the operating policy that you uploaded is not an official copy. That is a proposed GPSA Ways and Means Operating Committee policy, operating policy. So I'm just trying to track down in our drive the official one that's posted. Bear with me, everyone.
Sorry, I know we're still in the, I think we're probably extending the recess. It looks like probably till about 5:30. I do remember council voted on an operating policy. The previous Ways and Means Chair, Blanca Pena, brought it to council. I don't remember which council meeting that would have been in. It would have possibly been April, possibly May, probably April.
Or even March. Actually, this one was sent to me by
March.
Devin. Yeah, I asked Devin for this in May, and he sent me this one that I uploaded here.
Thank you. Oh, can you just really quick say we're going to extend our recess by another 10 minutes?
Yeah. So please bear with us. We're trying to figure it out. We'll take another 10 minutes for assessing this. So please bear with us. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Yeah.
Perfect. Sorry, everyone on committee. We are looking through everything now. Hi, Emmett.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute.
It was not in May or in April. Bear with me as I keep scrolling through. Yeah, I'm all the way back to March and I still haven't found anything.
Actually, Shinatsu, do you remember the council meeting where Blanca presented this to council? I'm not imagining that, right?
I
remember there
do
being a-
not remember exactly, but let me see. Let me try to check the drive.
If it wasn't on the, if we can't find it on the council meeting agendas, then maybe I am thinking of a Ways and Means meeting where it got approved, but technically it would still have to get approved by council to have authority.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me take further look at the drive.
I have it here, guys. It's council meeting 4509. Opening.
What month is that?
What was that, April?
Okay, so everyone, the approved Ways and Means Committee operating policy. We do just need to update the website, but the proposed one with the link that Shinatsu put into the drive is the correct operating policy that was approved by council. So we can work off of that one. Now let me just scroll through and read.
She's out of business. She crashes down the business. She crashes down our business.
So, actually, hold on. Let's go out of a recess so that we can update the records, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so I have resumed the recording, just so everyone is aware. Chinonso, thank you for bringing this up. Are you okay if I just read what it
Yeah,
says?
sure.
Okay, perfect. So, point of record information, Ways and Means Committee meeting was put back into, our recess ended at 5:34 p.m. And this is President Curtis Brown reading through the Ways and Means operating a policy, which was approved by council in meeting 45-09. When I read through, it is on page 4 of the operating policy, section 1, the Ways and Means Committee, subsection 3, treasurer duties and responsibilities. And it reads as follows: the duties of the treasurer include but are not limited to 1, maintaining agenda and minutes posted in accordance with Nevada open meeting law. 2, serving as oversight during Ways and Means Committee meetings. 3, providing guidance and direction during meetings. 4, voting only in the event of a tie. 5, making any clerical or grammatical adjustments to the operating policy that do not alter the content. These changes will not have to be passed by the committee or council at large. 6, adjusting the operating policy that do alter the content. These changes must be passed by Ways and Means Committee and presented to council. 7, working with the GPSA manager and advisor to provide accurate historical funding information from previous chairs. Then subsection 4. So section 1, subsection 4, chair duties and responsibilities. The duties of the Ways and Means Chair include, but are not limited to, presiding over meetings, sending out agendas to committee members, overseeing all committees. I do not see.
Look at section 2.
Oh, sorry, let me keep scrolling down. Sorry, I'm reading as we're going.
Section 2 is where you would find information, compositions, it says.
Okay. So you said you're in section 2, committee scope of practice, and then you're in, what is that, section 1?
Yeah, page 4, exactly. 2, compositions. Section 1, Ways and Means Committee. 2, number 2 of section 1, sorry. Number 2 of section 1.
Perfect, thank you.
On page 4.
Yep, no, I am looking at the same spot now. Thank you so much. So the Ways and Means Chair, okay. Ways and Means Committee shall be composed of 4 voting members, including but not limited to, being assigned by the chair and approved by council. The elected GPSA treasurer is an ex officio non-voting member of Ways and Means Committee. The treasurer shall assume an advisory role to the Ways and Means Committee upon the start of the treasurer's term. They assume the role of chair of Ways. Upon the start of the treasurer's term, they assume the role of chairs of Ways and Means. The treasurer shall appoint a chair prior to the approval of GPSA's budget. So from my interpretation, and Nia, correct me and us if we're wrong, but to read through it again, the elected GPSA treasurer is an ex officio non-voting member of the Ways and Means Committee. The treasurer shall assume an advisory role of Ways and Means Committee. Upon the start of the treasurer's term, they assume the role of chair of Ways and Means. The treasurer shall appoint a chair prior to the approval of GPSA budget. So from my interpretation, the treasurer can be the chair, at least for this meeting, until council approves our budget. And then at the following Ways and Means meeting, we have to appoint a new chair of Ways and Means. That is my interpretation.
It does, yeah, so it doesn't specify in that language, before the budget is approved. But if by council, I would say the same interpretation have to be approved by council. How does the language read one more time? For that sentence, the approval.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going back to it. The treasurer shall assume an advisory role to the Ways and Means Committee. Period. Upon the start of the treasurer's term, they assume the role of chair of Ways and Means. Period. The treasurer shall appoint a chair prior to the approval of the GPSA budget. So, again, my understanding is that Kalyani is the chair until council approves budget, because this committee doesn't approve the budget, they just approve recommendations.
Yeah, they recommend the budget to council. So the approval language, I guess we could clarify that sentence in the operating policy, but the council approves the GPSA's operating budget. Maybe the language was intended for the other way, but it's unclear. But I would argue, make the same argument. It has to be council. Ways and Means recommends a budget. And frankly, over the summer, there's just not enough time to get somebody in place for that kind of an adjustment. So there would have had to have been an agenda item right before the approval for Ways and Means to appoint a chair.
Gotcha.
And we still have to get, and we have to get a budget through. It would have to be council language. It's just not feasible otherwise. So maybe we recommend an amendment to that policy, or just a operating policy change to clarify that line.
Yeah, we can, at the next Ways and Means meeting, we'll have operating policy amendments to chair elections and treasurer role at 4602 Ways and Means meeting. But I guess so. Sorry, your chair. I can't. We have to wait for you to
No.
call on. You could also move to suspend Robert's rules for a couple of minutes, so we can all just talk casually. It's your call as chair.
So what's it like? If you can suspend. Yeah, so yeah, this is taking a little more than the expected this discussion. So can we suspend the Robert rules for next 10 minutes? Can I get a motion to suspend the Robert rules for next 10 minutes? You may say your name and then so move.
Hayden, so moved.
Can I get second?
Salome Obuleka.
You perfect.
And just all in favor.
And all in favor of this suspension, can you say aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any opposed? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, perfect. So Robert's rules is suspended. That just gives us a chance to talk a little more freely without needing motions from the chair and everything like that. So if anyone has comments on this, I think we should address it now. I guess it's really, I mean, based off of my interpretation and our advisors recommend our interpretation, I do believe that Kalyani is okay to chair this meeting, but it is very much up to the committee. If anyone is against it, for it, we need the committee to decide if we want to keep going on with this meeting or if we need to pause, reschedule. Sean, so Robert's rule is suspended, so you can just talk. You don't need to wait for us.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, I agree that the treasurer should chair this very meeting. But just like in the agenda, we're supposed to get the vice chair, which we have gotten now. I think we should have also included the appointment of a chair for the committee, because the policy says appoint a Ways and Means chair prior to the approval of the budget. So, and I actually learned of this when I asked Devin at the end of the last tenure. I asked him, because we're supposed to have a particular Ways and Means committee, I think three, whether you were copied in the email or something. We're supposed to have a Ways and Means meeting, which did not eventually hold. And Devin mentioned in that email that he was encouraging us to be present at the meeting. I guess he was talking about the first meeting like this one, because we would need to meet quorum, which is one, and secondly, the treasurer would have to appoint a Ways and Means chair. Now, why I think this makes sense is that my understanding of the Ways and Means Committee is as a body that recommends, as you all have said, recommends to the council on financial matters and budgets and things that are generally have to do with money. And I think the committee should, especially in terms of the budget presentation, for example, the budget is supposed to be presented to the committee, and the committee makes recommendation, and the person presenting the budget to the committee, I do not think it is the perfect situation where the person presents and the person is the one to recommend, because what is going to happen eventually is on the day of the presentation, the treasurer is going to recommend, let me put it that way, on behalf of the committee. So I was looking at the committee as a kind of independent body of the treasurer that looks at the committee and also makes recommendations to the council. So they look at it and say, okay, this is presented by the Ways and Means Committee. And you see, when the operating policy, for example, was reviewed the last time, Blanca had to be there to present on behalf of the committee. So, but if the committee wants to move on with this and we adjust the bylaw, that is okay by me as well. I just wanted us to, I just wanted to make sure that we're doing what the bylaw says. Thank you.
Yeah, no. So thank you so much, Tunum. So I guess a couple points to that. So the budget that's presented from executive board, it's the president's fiscal year budget. So mine that I'm presenting to committee. What happens once it gets to committee is that the and it's approved by the chair, or I'm sorry, by the committee, the Ways and Means Committee will co-present this with as the chair, the treasurer, and myself to council for that final approval of budget. So I do see where like there are different confusions. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting a side chat. Yes, Nia, the live stream is started on YouTube. Yes, but sorry so to keep going there, I think that we just again need to update the operating policy to fix a couple of terms and just be a little more specific of when a chair needs to be elected and who it can be. But as Nia mentioned, like we should be very specific in that language because quite honestly, in a month and a half period, 2-month period to elect a Ways and Means chair will already take up until middle of June when we have council meeting, and then we have to schedule the first Ways and Means meeting, which for the bylaws, the treasurer has to schedule that first meeting. So it makes more sense for the treasurer to stay chair for the first meeting, and then as we move into August and September, we can have an election of a chair. But again, thank you, and thank you for bringing this up. I'm glad we're able to, discuss and see everything. I am glad that we have Caden here as the vice chair now. But I guess Salome and Caden, how do you feel about going on with the meeting? What are your thoughts? I could just hear from everyone on the committee really quick.
I'm okay with doing whatever you recommend.
Thank you.
I'm okay with going with the recommendation.
Perfect. So I'm gonna hand this back to Kalyani. Sorry for jumping in, but then it sounds like we're all good to go with this meeting proceeding as normal. We still have these 2 items to get through, and then at the next meeting, next Ways and Means meeting, because budget will get approved, we'll make sure that we have the election of a chair.
Sure.
And we'll have operating policy updates on that meeting.
Yeah, that sounds good. And thank you all for agreeing to continue this session and agreeing to be chair of this meeting. Thank you all. I just want to add one point to Jivan. So thank you for bringing this up. But one thing I'd like to add is that this is just recommendation. This Ways and Means Committee just recommend whatever budget we prepared, any amendments or changes to the council. This is not like we are approving the budget. And at the same time, if GPSA treasurer is not part of Ways and Means Committee, and then who has relevant experience in finance and all, whose experience directly aligns with the GPSA treasurer roles, it doesn't make much more sense to be part of this meeting without voting power. And I'm not sure, I haven't seen that council meeting, council approval. So definitely next meeting we will appoint a chair. So that's all from my end. So can we continue this? We have to suspend that. Nothing, we just continue. To say something.
No, so Robert's rules in 30 seconds will be in 32 seconds will be reinstated. So and that just automatically happens because we put a time limit on it. So you can just move into the budget.
Yeah.
If you want to suspend Robert's rules again to just talk about budget, so your committee can just talk about whatever they want on the budget they can.
30 seconds doesn't matter. Let's just continue. I feel we have very We just have 10 minutes time.
Yes. Well, it can go as long as it
Yeah.
needs to. There's not a
Got it.
ending, but yeah.
So thank you all. We'll resume the session with the budget. I'll present my screen.
Well, okay. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so to start going through some of our budget, so Nia Kalyani and I have been working on this for like the last month and a half now. Just to kind of run through some of the information. So the total budget that we are working with is it's a little blurry on
Fine.
mine, $556,058.66. To just give a breakdown of like some of the areas. These I have a meeting at 6. I'd like to leave them 5. Okay. So again, just running through budget really quick. So operational, which are expenditures, that is our overhead. So that is our business manager and advisor salary, our GAs, our hourly workers, required hosting and travel, and then we threw swag into there. That all totals at $214,421. That is a line that we can't really touch and adjust. Those are committed funds. Dropping down to external sponsorships, those are 2 again, external sponsorships that we're giving out to Care Survivor Fund and Rebel Rebound, totaling $14,250. Executive board and cabinet stipends have gone through there. That all totals at $49,900. Council and committee stipends is totaling at $15,800. Could scroll down. The president's discretionary budget is typically 2.5% of the overall budget, which totals $12,508.25. Breaking down all of the events that we have in the fiscal year, we have about $27,700 allocated to different events. That'll be our research forum that happens in the spring, homecoming that happens in the fall, study and finals week for both semesters. We have a fall open house, a spring open house. We have several collaborations, mixers, and events that happen. Our Division of Engagement and Outreach requires a budget so that they can plan activities and socials. The NSA mixer is a requirement for GPSA or for all NG presidents to sit on. So we all rotate taking turns having an event. It is GPSA's year to host that. We have the first Gen Week and MSI Week events, and then council meetings we typically cater. So we put budget in for that as well. There are travel expenses required. So my duties as president, I have to attend the Board of Regents quarterly meetings and our legislative session for this upcoming legislative session in 2027, plus our executive board retreat. All of our travel comes through at $7,500. And then lastly, we have our programs, which is funding to sponsorship, RSO funding. We don't have any money going towards our continuation support grant. We haven't for a couple of years. We have money going to open access, GPSA awards, and then that all totals at $213,550. You could scroll to the very top. That just shows that our entire budget has been used with the exception of $429.41. That has not been allocated yet. We can add it in anywhere. We can do it in this meeting, or we can have council do it. Or I just recommend adding that $429.41 into our sponsorship program, as that is GPSA's like biggest funding priority. But if the chair is okay yielding to Nia, if she has anything to say, or if committee has questions for me and my proposed budget, I'm happy to answer some.
Thank you, Chair, for taking this through.
Actually, I thought that was an excellent rundown, but I'm also very familiar with the budget. So if the committee has any questions, please speak now. This is the window. And please take a look at the programs and and the division operating budgets too. I do want you guys to thoroughly take a look at the budget.
I mean, realistically, you guys are very experienced with this, and would know obviously far more than me, because I'm not familiar with this at all. But from what I see, it looks reasonable, and I don't have any comments or questions.
Perfect. Thanks, Kaden. I will say, myself and Kalyani are also new to this process, but Nia has like a decade's worth, 6 years worth of experience and very much helped us. So thank you. But yeah, again, this is just a good time to see if anyone else has any comments, but if not, I feel like we allocated everything well. I would just like someone on committee to help decide where that, can you scroll to the top again?
Yeah.
Where that remaining 429.41 should go.
Just allocate to scholarship.
Well, sponsorship, but
Yes.
the committee would have to
Okay.
vote to move things around.
I think external sponsorship would be reasonable to allocate the 429.41.
Sorry, point of clarification, if you don't mind, President Curtis Brown for the record. So typically we would want to put it to sponsorship in just our general
Sorry.
general,
That's what I meant.
not
Yeah.
external. And then there is a motion if anyone wanted to second it.
So can I get second? Can I get second to move this $429.41 to sponsorship?
Salome Obuleka, second.
Thank you. Moved by just make the
All in
adjustment.
favor?
Yeah, all in favor of the budget, please say aye.
Well, just
Aye.
moving.
Oh, sorry. All in favor of moving this 429.41 to the sponsorship, please say aye.
Aye.
Salome, it's not so. Can we get your vote?
Aye. Salome Obuleka.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shannon, so. So I would just say that
He
is,
talked about leaving in 5 minutes. I don't know if he has left.
I mean, he's still in the meeting, so we still have to count him for quorum.
So
I
we
would
can,
just say
yeah.
with a vote of 3-0 to 1, Shinatsa can just be abstained from that vote since we're not hearing from him.
Okay. So with the vote of 301, we move the $429.14 to the sponsorship. I'll make that adjustment right away. So, perfect.
I don't know why it's still.
It's still, yeah, there is small difference. I don't know why it has that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then the entire budget is allocated. It is up to you all if there's anything else you'd like to discuss. Nia, just yield to you two if you have any more questions, or comments, but I think you're good to take a vote if no one else has any suggestions.
And also just for a point of clarification, does anybody have any other questions about even this process? If you're not sure what you're reading, we always want it to be very transparent where the money goes.
This is we're literally finding the ways and the means to pay for everything that GPSA does. So if there's anything that's a priority, or if there's something that's over funded, or if you're just curious about this process or not sure what you're reading, this is the window before we move into a vote.
I have a question.
Sure.
What's the Care Survivor Fund for?
Great question. Trey, did you want to explain it or me too?
I will yield to you, Nia, because you know a little more than I do.
Oh, okay, sure. So the Care Survivor Fund, they actually present at council every May during the officer transition period, but I know it's also a tricky period because it's transitions and there's a lot happening. So the Care Survivor Fund is actually a victims of violence fund. So if there's any students on campus who are experiencing violence in their home and they have to, typically if they need some kind of assisted services or they need some to be relocated, maybe like to a hotel for the night, this fund pays for that. So CSUN actually donates money to this fund, and then so they need additional funds to support graduate students. And so GPSA supplements the Care Survivor Fund for graduate students specifically. And they actually present data to the council every May to tell us how many students were supported, how the fund's doing, if they used all of the funds or not. And if you're actually ever interested in that information, we do have that in supplemental material in the GPSA Google Drive if you're interested. But it's a very good fund and it's a resource for students.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So yeah, there's no other comments.
Yeah.
Vote.
So any more comments from anyone? So I don't see any. So let's take the main motion. Can I get the motion to recommend the this fiscal year 27 budget to the GPSA Council for final approval? So can I get a motion to move it?
Caden, so moved.
Yeah. Thank you, Caden. Can I get a second?
Salome Obuleka, second.
Thank you, Bleka. So all in favor of the recommending financial year fiscal year 27 budget to the council, please say aye.
Aye.
Salam, can I? Yeah, thank you.
And also your vote.
Yeah. So Kalyani for the record aye. So any opposed or any abstaining? I don't see any. So the motion passes and fiscal year 27 budget will be recommended to the council in our next meeting on August 14th. So thank you so much. And please feel free to email me if you have any questions on the budget. So I'll be happy to answer. And so we are over 2 minutes for the meeting. Thank you so much.
You have to go to announcements, public
Oh,
comment,
yeah.
and adjournment.
Okay. let's quickly get into the announcement and then moving into the item 7 announcement. Does anybody have any announcement for the good of the order, upcoming events or deadlines or anything like that?
Hi, President Curtis Brown for the record. So one to all of committee and our chair for right now until the next meeting. Thank you so much for reviewing the budget. If you haven't had time to really dig through everything, please feel free to work or to email Kalyani or myself, or you can reach out to Nia if you have more additional questions later. This will go up to council on August 14th at the next council meeting, where myself and Kalyani will give a whole report on the budget and go into final approval. Caden, congrats on becoming vice chair. We're very excited for you. And then if you have any questions about minutes, anything like that, Kalyani can work on helping get the minutes over to you because it goes to both of our email addresses. But we will look for minutes for our next Ways and Means meeting, and we have some templates to help you if you have questions, but definitely get on our calendars and reach out. And that's all I have. Thank you.
We have open public comment and then mention
Public comment.
Yeah.
And then you have to reread the phone number for
Yeah.
public comment. So
how to read what?
So next you're going to go to public comment on the very first page of the agenda.
Okay.
No, keep going back.
Yeah.
Sorry, here, I'm just going to go through this.
Sorry.
right here. So you'll open public comment and you just have to reread this phone number
Okay.
and log in.
Got it. So going into the next item, public comment, we are going to get into brief second period of public comment. You have 3 minutes and please state your name and spell your last name for record. And again, for anyone on the live stream, you can call in at 253-215-8782 or 346-248-7799. And the code is meeting code is 99799349255. And then pound. So we will leave it open for another minute so people have time to dial. I'm not seeing any public comment online or nothing in the email either. So we'll go ahead and close the public comment. And so next item is adjournment. So thank you all so much for your time, productive of this meeting. And then thank you so much for your valuable comments. So can I get motion to adjourn this meeting? Six.
You don't need a motion to adjourn. You can just
Okay.
adjourn the
Okay.
meeting.
So we'll adjourn this meeting at 6 p.m. on 5th of August 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you all.
Thank
See
you.
you at the next meeting. Perfect. Nia said next steps, the chair will draft a memo of this budget and send it to the council chair, me, for the 14th vote. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Nia.
Well, have a good evening. There is a memo template in the GPSA drive.
Take it.